All right, we are on the record. It is April 9th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 1. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning, Judge. Robert Williams with the Office of the Public Defender.
Morning. Maybe I'll get another phone call today. I wonder if I can put it on mute. Now it's mute. Okay, right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. Can you please tell me your name for the record?
Clint Allen Bartz, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Bartz, you're here in 2019 MO 6320. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Bartz to maybe try and resolve his case today?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit time served.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Bartz has indicated that he will accept the state's offer.
Okay. And I do have to impose court costs, Mr. Bartz, just
Yes,
to let
sir.
you know. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you read the plea form?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Bartz, do you want to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation? Sir, I think he's falling asleep. I don't.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember what we just talked
Yes,
about?
ma'am. 5 days.
Huh?
5 days.
Okay.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're not on probation,
No, ma'am.
correct? Okay. At this time, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020, okay?
Yes,
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Samantha Fox.
All right, Ms. Fox, you're here in 2019 CF 4817AO. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree, scheme to defraud, less than $20,000, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the Walmart at 5991 South Goldenrod Road. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case.
And Your Honor, may we have that include the co-defendant as well?
And the co-defendant. I'm gonna stay the bond at $1,000 on count 1, 150 on count 2, and 100 on count 3.
Ma'am, is there any way I could get ROR?
No, I'm not gonna ROR you, ma'am. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Jason Donald Fernandez.
All right, Mr. Fernandez, you are here in 2019 CF 4899. You were arrested for attempted burglary of a conveyance. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to that residence at the Arbor Ridge West location, that Tree Ridge Lane. You're not to go back to that location. You're not to have any contact with any victim, witness in the case. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay at the $1,000. Mr. Lucas, are you okay?
I just got like the flu. I got the flu. I'm still taking
Okay,
medication.
all right. You're Mr. Lucas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're here in 2019 CF 4894AO. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if you qualify?
I don't think I need a lawyer, but
You don't think you need a lawyer?
no.
Okay, well, we're gonna set you for a determination of counsel hearing in a week, just to make sure that you have somebody representing you if you
I
can't
don't
bond
need nobody
out.
representing me, ma'am. I just settled that. I don't need a representative.
Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
all right, sir, and you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with any witnesses in the case. You're not to return back to that location of 4100 South Orange Blossom Trail. And you're to abide by all the trespass warnings there. And your bond will stay at $1,000 on count 1. Count 2, I'll reduce to 100. We'll still set them for a DOC. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Frederica Tura.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 49260. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell or deliver, trespass and a conveyance. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back Well, it was in a conveyance. Sorry, not to have any contact with any victim in the case. Your bond on count 1 will stay at the 15,000 and your bond on count 2 will be $100.
Could you repeat the bond on count 1, Your Honor?
It's 15,000. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Veronica Etienne.
All right, Miss Etienne, you're here in 2019 MM 2979 AO. You were arrested for possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Do you want to maybe try and resolve your case today? I don't know if the state has an offer for you.
Veronica, if I may have just a moment, Your Honor.
Sure. Huh? Etienne?
The offer would be an adjudication of guilt, 3 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and 1 year driver's license suspension.
And I think that would get you out today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, I am somewhat, I don't understand.
I can't hear you. I'm
This
sorry.
this wasn't an offense where she was driving a car.
It's when you get adjudicated on a
Right.
possession of cannabis, it's an automatic 1-year DL suspension under the law pursuant to the statute. There's nothing I can do about that. Unless the state offered to withhold adjudication. Is there a reason for the adjudication? She doesn't really have any.
Only because she has been convicted of other crimes, Your Honor. And the state will modify the offer to a withhold as to count 1, adjudication as to count 2.
Okay. So, ma'am, the difference between that is that without the adjudication, your license would not be suspended. Okay? So the state's offering to withhold adjudication on count 1, which is the cannabis, and count 2, you'd be adjudicated, which does not come with a DL suspension. Okay? And you would get out today.
Okay.
And I do have to impose court costs.
All right. that's
So, but you would never have to come back to court. That would resolve the case. But it's up to you. Okay?
fine. Okay, that's fine.
Your Honor, Ms. Etienne has indicated that she will accept the plea deal with the withhold on count 1 and the adjudication on count 2.
Okay. Have her sign the plea form. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to enter a plea of no contest?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. you. All right, Miss Etienne, here, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom of the plea
Yes, ma'am.
form? Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea on counts 1 and 2, and I am going to withhold adjudication on count 1, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. On count 2, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Those counts will run concurrent, okay? I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, ma'am. Okay? Good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name.
John Benoit.
All right, Mr. Benoit, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County, and it looks like the judge in that case set your bond at none. And so Seminole County has 24 hours to come and pick you up. That does not include the weekend, okay? I don't
Okay.
think that'll affect you. Okay.
And then I'll get a bond when I get to Seminole County,
I don't
maybe?
know what they'll do in Seminole County. I don't,
Okay.
okay?
Thank you.
All right. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Scavetti Joseph Mario.
Okay. All right, sir, you were here in 2019, CF 4839AO. You were arrested for burglary of a structure.
But
I do
didn't see anything.
find probable cause for your arrest, sir. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you.
Probable cause doesn't hold up. I didn't steal anything.
And you're not to return back to that location, sir,
I won't.
at 3100 36th Street, lot number 4. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case.
There was no victims, but
You're out on bond, sir,
thank you, ma'am.
in
God
2
bless you.
cases.
Oh,
2019 CF 3028AO and 2019 CF 351AO,
Full
both
amount bond, ma'am.
grand theft 3rd degree of a motor vehicles. I am gonna revoke the bonds in those cases and set those at none. Your new bond in the burglary of a structure case is set at $5,000.
is there anything else?
Nope.
Do my next court case or just bond out?
All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Adriana Alcover.
Sorry?
Adriana Alcover.
Okay, ma'am, you're here in 2019 CF 4884AO. You were arrested for possession of cannabis over 20 grams and petty theft, 2nd degree. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back. to the 7-Eleven at 8674 Maitland Summit Boulevard. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with any listed witnesses in the case or victims in the case. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Count 2 will be $100.
And she is out on bond, Your Honor.
Oh, I didn't. Zero. There's no.
It's an Osceola County case, 2019 CF 000914.
What's the charge?
It's for, no, I don't. It's for possession of controlled substance, possession of marijuana over 20 grams, and drug paraphernalia.
I mean, I don't have any information about it, so.
I can give you mine.
It says, I mean, she was arrested on March 7th and bonded on, when?
On the,
I'm not gonna take any action, ma'am, but if you come back here, then I'm probably gonna revoke the bond, okay? Okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Amber Lynn Baker.
All right, Ms. Baker, you're here in 2019 CF 4876AO. You're arrested for burglary of a dwelling, petty theft, and dealing in stolen property, initiating. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you, excuse me. You're not to return back to that
Third Street.
residence in Bithlow at 18921 3rd Avenue. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with any witness, victim, or your co-defendant. You're not to return back to the E&H scrapyard either, or have any contact with any victim or witness in that case,
Yes, ma'am.
or at that location. Your bond will stay set at $5,000 on count 1, counts 2 and 3. Count 2 will be $100. Count 3 will be $150. All right, please tell me your name.
Marvell Cerruti.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Castro?
Mr. Castro behavior, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll reset him. Can you tell me your name again, sir?
Marvell Cerruti.
Okay, thank you. All right, sir, you were picked up on a capias. Looks like the state filed a charge of lewd and lascivious exhibition in the presence of an employee. Probable cause has already been found by the judge. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the listed witness in this case or any witness in the case. Your bond will be set at $2,500.
Miss, Judge West. Ma'am. Mr. Judge West. May I ask a
You
question?
may want to ask Mr. Williams if it's a good, okay.
All right, I'm currently in DOC right now. I've been in DOC for like 23 months. I caught this child in DOC. How long will it take for me to
Well,
get,
the state has filed an information in the case, so your attorneys can review the discovery and determine whether or not they want to take it to trial or whether you want to enter a plea or what other decisions can be made or if there's any motions to be filed. So you'll probably stay here, my guess is? Okay, so you're going to be arraigned on the charge in the division in which it's set. Okay, you'll see that judge next week. Okay, and you'll meet your attorney probably at that time. Okay? Okay, do we have an ID on him yet? No?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right, we will reset Mr. John Doe. Okay, please tell me your name, sir.
Tyler Douglas.
All right, Mr. Douglas, you are here in 2019 CF 4898AO. You were arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer and aggravated battery on a Leo with a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bond on count 1 will be $7,500. Your bond on count 2 will be at $10,000. You're out on bond in multiple cases, 2019 CF 3696, 2019 MM 1933AO, 2019 MM 1932AO. I'm revoking those bonds and setting them at none. Looks like you have the public defender in those cases. Please tell me your name.
Good morning. Joshua Dunstan.
All right, Mr. Dunstan, you're here in 2019 CF 49220. You were arrested for trafficking in counterfeit credit cards, use of a re-encoder to defraud, and possession of credit card making equipment. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bonds will stay at $2,500 on count 1 and at $1,000 on counts 2 and 3.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Alan Jackson.
All right,
Alan Lee Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2019 CF 4900AO. You were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting without violence, an officer without violence, and petty theft. I do find probable cause. You're not to return back to that Publix at 2015 Edgewater Drive in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. Your bond will be set at $2,500 on count 1, $100 on count 2, and $100 on count 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? Oh, and point the PD if I didn't say it. All right, please tell me your name.
Kevin MacArthur.
All right, Mr. MacArthur, this is a really old case.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't even look it up. So you're here in it looks like not 2000, 1983, well, it would be CF now, but CR 3016. Looks like you were picked up on a capias for failing to appear for a violation of probation arraignment back in 1986 on October 3rd, 1986. And the judge in that case set your bond at none. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender? Do you already have I don't know who was representing you at that time. I can't even look the case up.
I do not know who was representing.
Okay.
Then I've tried to have a attorney for him now, but I have not been able to contact.
Okay.
an attorney.
Do you have any information in your case management system as to? I couldn't even look the case up in Odyssey, so.
One moment, Your Honor.
Looks like if he failed to appear back in 86, were you in DOC?
Was I in?
Department of Corrections?
I don't think so.
No, I thought it said that his DOC was from 12/21 to 1983 to April 2nd, 1990.
That was a probation.
Oh,
term.
okay,
He wasn't
okay,
in DOC,
okay.
so.
Because I was gonna say, the state would know where you were that whole time if you were, but,
I have no other
okay,
information as far as attorney.
okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender? That way you're not sitting in there and they can file maybe a motion for you, and if you want to hire your own attorney, you're obviously more than welcome to do that. I don't want you sitting in there with no bond without an attorney, and I can't change your bond today.
Yes, Your Honor, that sounds good.
Okay. So do you work, sir? Do you have?
I currently have a job.
Okay. And do you have any income? And I don't know if that job will still be there for you if you work for yourself.
That job requires me to be there, and if I can't go there, it's gone.
Okay. Okay. I am going to appoint the PD, okay, to represent you. So you have somebody who can bring this before the court. I'm not sure what division it's going to be in. Do we know? No. So hopefully just Mr. Williams will give you a number and you can call that number and maybe they can get things started for you, okay?
Thank you, Your
It's a
Honor.
really old case.
Your
Okay.
Honor, the state does show that it was originally in Division 23, which I believe is just the
Yeah, it's just a
VOP out here.
VOP, so it probably just goes back to the original division at this time. I don't know what division that is, so, all right, but. Okay, good luck to you, sir. All right, please tell me your name.
Jeffrey Howard McGee.
All right, Mr. McGee, you are here in 2019 CF 4877AO. You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling, petty theft, and dealing in stolen property. I do find probable cause. You're not to return back to 18921 3rd Avenue in Bithlo, Florida. You're not to return back to the E&H scrapyard You're not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or your co-defendant. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition, and you're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to appoint the public defender if I didn't already say that. Your bonds will be $5,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2, and $150 on count 3. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Donald Miller.
All right, Mr. Miller, you're here in 2019 CF 4893AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine and trespass on property after warning. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to that area where it's just no trespass signs, so don't go back there, that 4100 South Orange Blossom Trail area. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will remain set at $1,000 on count 1 and $150 on count 2. Please tell me your name.
Daniel Muhammad.
All right, Mr. Muhammad. I think I saw you yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. It looks like they served a warrant on you in 2019 CF 4890. You were arrested pursuant to the warrant, which probable cause was found for sending written threats to commit bodily injury. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case.
Excuse me.
And your bond will be set at $5,000.
Your Honor, Edith Bush for the state, in reviewing the affidavits, this appears to be the same affidavit, same agency number, but it's been given two separate court case numbers. And it appears that he was arrested twice on the same affidavit.
Oh, okay. So,
Because I'm seeing a date of arrest for court
We have
case
the-
number 2019 CF 4586, and that date of arrest was April 2nd. It is the same affidavit as this one.
and he did file a bond, and then I revoked that bond.
And I did not see any additional facts between the two affidavits.
No, it's the same. All right, well, looks like that's already a pending case, so I don't know how I've never had this happen yet.
I can
how has this
say
been
I haven't
handled in
either,
the past?
unless he's going to be RLR'd on one.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna release you as to this case. The PD's still appointed on it, so they can file any motions that need to be filed, but my guess is that at some point this case will go away, but the other case will stand, okay?
I mean, it's the same case. These two are the same cases? Is that
Yeah,
what you-
somehow it got
Okay.
sent to
And
the
what about
clerk's
these?
office, and it was given two different case numbers on the same warrant. So it was an electronic warrant, maybe it just got sent twice, and then,
And apparently there were two actual arrests made on it.
right, well,
so-
he's in
Yeah.
jail on, so,
Yeah, but it was two separate dates for the arrest, so.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Roberts Jr.
Okay, Mr. Roberts, you're here in 2019 CF 4889AO. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case, and you're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. Your bond will be set at $2,500. You're out on bond on similar offenses. So I am going to revoke the bond and set it at none in 2019 CF 3380AO.
Your Honor, would the court consider setting conditions for release on CF 19 CF 338?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
I'm sorry. Would the court consider setting conditions of release on 2019 CF 3380?
Is that the out on bond case?
Yes.
No,
He's
I mean,
indicated that he's trying to get into a drug treatment facility.
Well, this might make it a lot easier.
I'm supposed to be admitting into a drug program today, ma'am. I have a serious drug issue. That's the
Well,
whole.
they can get you, your
that's
public defender can try and get you some of that help, okay?
So there's no way you cannot revoke my
I'm
bond?
not gonna revoke, I've revoked the bond, and I'm setting it at no bond.
Okay.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
So Glenn Tanner, Your Honor.
Sorry, well, it's difficult.
Glenn Tanner.
Okay, thank you. Do we know what happened, Mr. Solander?
He bonded, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll take no action on Mr. Solander. Mr. Tanner, you are here in 2019 CF 44640. You were arrested pursuant to a capias, which probable cause was found, for possession of a controlled substance, 2 counts. The judge set your bond at $1,000 on each count. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Clarence David Williams, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Williams, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for failing to register and report as a sex offender. As I said, probable cause was found. Did you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
No, ma'am. I wanted to go ahead and put a plea in for no contest.
Okay, well, I can't take a plea today on a
Okay.
felony, and
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, so, do you want me to see if you qualify?
We went over the information, and because of my job and my income, she said I wouldn't qualify.
Okay. Well, what do you work? Do you work every
Yes,
day?
ma'am. I've been working for the past year since I got out on conditional release.
Okay.
I've been working for Finfrock and through Paysetters on West
Do you get
Central.
paid weekly or monthly or bi-weekly?
Weekly. I go with the weekly ticket.
How much do you make? Like a set income?
Right at 1,000. I make $19.50 an hour. I'm a carpenter, skilled
Okay.
carpenter.
All right. So you make $1,000 a week.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any children under the age of
No.
18 that live with you or anything like
No,
that?
ma'am.
Okay.
Just my fiance.
Okay. Yeah, you're not going to qualify for the public defender, unfortunately.
Okay.
But you do have a bond of $2,500. Okay. Do you think you'll be able to make that bond?
Yes, I would be able to. My question would be, what will conditional release do? Will they?
I have no idea what they'll do.
Okay.
Okay, you'll have to, you do have reporting requirements. So I would contact whoever your conditional release, you report to somebody specifically?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you get in touch with them,
Okay.
okay?
Thank you.
And just let them know, but you do have reporting requirements, so I set your bond at $2,500. I don't want you sitting in jail without an attorney, so you think you'll be able to make that bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Okay?
Thank
All
you.
right. Good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name.
Sean Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis, you are here in 2019 MO 6330. You were arrested for camping and state misdemeanors. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Davis to resolve
Yes.
the case?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit time served.
And I would have to impose court costs. Is that something you want to do, Mr. Davis?
If the day's not gonna hurt, then I'll pay the fines.
Your Honor, would the state, excuse me, Ms. Bush, would the state consider amending its offer to 4 days instead of 5?
No. No.
Your Honor, I have an obligation every Wednesday. I help out a church.
Sorry, you got to speak up, Mr.
Every
Davis.
Wednesday I help out a church. It's a Baptist church, and if I could be there for that, I mean, could you change my court fines maybe? But the 5 days will put me right after that. I would miss it, and
You want to plead to the bench?
not really, Your Honor. But I mean, unless you think it's a good idea. I'm not asking to run from any of my time or anything like that. It's just,
I mean, you're more than welcome to plead to the court.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to find you want to fill out a plea form?
Yes, please.
So you understand there's no promises here,
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
All right. All right, Mr. Davis, I'm showing you this plea form. Are you going to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, it is.
Do you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
There's been no promises made to you?
No.
Okay. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right, I find a factual basis for you to enter the plea to camping and state misdemeanors. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on both counts. I'm going to sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served, okay? I do have to, and those are going to run concurrent. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off, okay?
Appreciate you.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
My name? Anthony Guglielmo.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Donald?
He's behaving, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll reset him for tomorrow. Guglielmo, how do I pronounce that?
In Italian, it's Guglielmo.
Guglielmo,
Means
okay.
William, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Guglielmo, you are here in 2019 MO 6350. You were arrested for camping. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you want to see if you can resolve your case today?
Yes.
Is that a yes? Okay. Was there an offer for this gentleman?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, 3 days, 2 days credit time served.
And so I think that would get you out today if you wanted to take the plea, right?
Yes.
I'll get him out.
I don't have my glasses. Here.
All right, thank you. You want to plead no contest?
What's that?
You want to plead no contest?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form? Is that a yes? You need to speak up
yes,
because we're
yes.
being recorded.
Oh, yes.
Okay. You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay, but you understand that if you're not, it will subject you to
Yes.
deportation? Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off, okay?
Yes, okay.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck to you. Please tell me your name.
Stacy Norris. Stacy Lawton Norris.
Okay, sir, you're here in 2019 MO 6360. You were arrested for camping.
2019?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry.
I do find
2019.
probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Norris?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit time served.
Does he have a detainer?
He has a warrant to be served,
What?
Okay.
For what? I just came here from California. I just came from December 31st. No warrants on me. I just got checked in Gainesville.
Huh?
It's from 2000.
2008?
Yeah, Let me interrupt you. When the officer, when we came through, he says you had a warrant for your arrest for DUI. I can absolutely guarantee you we can go through the state of California. I discharged parole in 2008. I lived in Oceanside, California. I wasn't even in the
I
state.
don't know anything about what's in the system. I'm just showing a detainment, so that's why I asked.
He was saying that it was a mistake, or I mean, wasn't even in the state, so it's not me.
Is it a California warrant?
I
No?
just left
Check right
California
now, Your Honor.
December 1st. I got here.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna look. Okay.
It's an Orange County warrant for a VOP on a DUI.
I don't know, sir. It's what's in their
Wasn't
system.
even in the
so.
state. So how, I mean,
What's from 2008. So they
That's it.
filed a violation of probation on you for some reason. So that's what the warrant is for. Okay.
2008 in here in Orange County.
In Orange County.
Wasn't even here.
But it could have been from an offense that occurred somewhere else and they violated you here on your DUI if you were on probation. That's how that works. Okay?
I was just in Gainesville, ma'am, and I was eating at a soup kitchen. I had to go to
Okay.
Gainesville Police Department to get a background check. That's in my
Do you
thing.
want to take the offer, sir? If you don't want to, you don't have to.
So if I may, Your Honor, how do I find out about this
Well, they'll serve you with the warrant, and then you'll get that information, and you'll see what it is they're talking about. I have no idea what they're talking. I don't know what's in the system for you.
I understand. It's
So,
definitely a mistake, 'cause I
but
wasn't even in
you-
the state.
You'll get that information when they serve you with the warrant, okay? And you'll be able to see what the violation of probation is, okay? And that will maybe explain it better for you. But I don't know, so I can't tell you. So, Mr. Norris, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the no contest plea to the camping charge. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail, credit for 2 days time served. I'm going to order that you pay court costs by April 9th, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. And I'm sure they'll let you know when they serve you with that warrant what it's about, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to find out what that warrant is.
Please tell me your name.
Good morning, Madam Judge. My name is Oscar Ortega.
Okay, Mr. Ortega, you're here in 2019 MO 6370. You were arrested for an open container. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Mr. Ortega?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 2 days, 2 days credit time served.
You want to
Yes,
take that?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you to the state.
Thank you. All right, do you want to enter plea and no contest, Mr. Ortega?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I'm well aware of it. Yes,
Okay, all right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020, okay?
Can I have a judgment lien?
I can't do that. That's something you're going to have to do through the clerk's office.
Or go through the
Okay,
clerk
you have
and
to
I
fill
can-
out a bunch of paperwork, and that's something that you have to do through the clerk's office if you want a judgment, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Okay? Good luck to you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Please tell me your name.
Nadira Lafort.
Right, Miss Fort, you're here in 2019 MM 2980AO. You were arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Miss Lafort?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit time served.
Your Honor, would the state consider amending their offer to 4 days because Ms. LaFort has work obligations that she would like to not.
Are you asking the court or
Excuse
the
me, Ms.
state?
Bush.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is
She wants to go to work.
she wants to go to work.
She doesn't want to miss work.
And she's not scheduled to go to work until 2 days from now, 3 days from now. It says she's unemployed.
I am employed.
Where do you work, ma'am?
Taco Bell.
Huh?
She just indicated Taco Bell.
Oh, OB2.
And her next shift is when?
Tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
Okay, 4 days isn't going to make it. So, no, the state isn't, and the state made the offer acknowledging the fact that she's out on bond on a petty theft at this time.
She's indicated that she accepted the state's offer.
Okay, I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case. Just don't come back, Miss LaFort, okay?
Okay.
Just make sure you keep all your court dates, too, on the other case.
I am. Thank you.
Thanks. Do you want a plea no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to, was it 5 days?
Yes, sir.
5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days? Credit for 2 days. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Steve Flowers.
Sorry?
Steve Flowers, ma'am.
Okay. Do we know what happened to Mr. Diaz? Did he bond out? Okay. We'll reset him within 24 hours of his release from the hospital. Mr. Flowers, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County for a violation of probation. The judge set your bond at none in that case. And so Seminole County has 24 hours to come and pick you up, okay? That does not include the weekends, but I don't think that affects you, okay?
You're on the Goldboro, Adrian.
Okay. We'll reset him. All right, please tell me your name.
Christopher James Burrow, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Burrow. You're here in 2019 CF 4849AO. You were arrested for dealing in stolen property, trafficking, and grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to that Royal Inn hotel. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case. I know that's your mom. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to your mom's residence at the West Oak Ridge Road residence, okay? Your bond will remain set at $2,500 on count 1 and $150 on count 2. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Willie Jane Harris, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Harris, you're here in 2019 MM2943AO. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you? Maybe to resolve your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
State's offers an adjudication, 5 days, 3 days credit, time served.
You want to accept that offer? I think it'll get you out tomorrow. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Sign the plea form. Do you want to plea no contest?
Ma'am?
You want to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I want to get out of debt. Yeah, me and you all that time.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Harris, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is
Yes,
that a
ma'am.
yes? You got to speak up because we're being recorded.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 3 days time served. I'm going to order that you pay your court costs by April 9th, 2020. And that gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you.
I'll get out tomorrow.
Okay. We will reset. Well, he's been reset. Looks like since Friday, Mr. Williams, I'm probably gonna appoint your office, so he's been reset since the 29th of March. He went to the hospital and he was reset, and then behavior today. What do you want to do?
Witness appearance, Your Honor.
Okay. So in 2019, MM 2658AO, Mr. Knott was arrested for trespass on property after warning and resisting an officer without violence. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him. They're waiving his appearance, as stated on the record. And he's not to return back to Dr. Phillips Hospital at 9400 Turkey Lake Road to abide by all trespass warnings. He's not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. And I'm going to stay the bond at the $500 on count 1. Count 2 is going to be $100.
Danielle Thomas refused again, Your Honor.
Okay, she's refused a couple times, I think. Yeah, she's refused a couple since, looks like Sunday, yesterday and Sunday.
Waiver of appearance.
Okay, so in 2019, CF 4825AO, Miss Thomas was arrested for prostitution. It was her third offense. It's a felony. And I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. They've indicated they're going to waive her appearance. And she's not to return back to the mapping zone. And her bond will stay set at the $2,500. She refused. Okay. And this, Mr. Velez?
Yes.
Yes, we saw you yesterday. As I recall, the state was asking for additional time for the probable cause. Mr. Williams, did you receive all of that information?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. Have you had a chance to review it? I have not had a chance to review what I received.
This morning, the state gave me the incident reports. I have
I can't hear you. I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
No, it's fine. I just can't hear you.
Okay, yes, I received the information here.
Okay.
Incident reports.
It's going to take me a minute to review this. And so it's for 3 cases?
Yes, Your Honor, and the remaining cases, there was no additional information found.
Okay, so it's for 4801, 4805, and 4807.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll so at this time in 2019 CF 4802AO, there's been no additional probable cause documentation provided by the state. So you'll be ROR'd on that case. In 2019 CF 4803AO, no additional information provided by the state on those 2 counts. So you'll be ROR'd on each count. 2019 CF 4804AO. No additional documentation provided for probable cause on both counts. You'll be ROR'd on both counts. 2019 CF 4806. No additional probable cause information on those counts. You'll be ROR'd on those counts. And in 2019, those 3 cases are left. Just need a moment to review these. Okay, I've reviewed all of that additional information. I do find probable cause in 2019 CF 4801AO for burglary of a conveyance. 2019 CF 4805AO for burglary of an occupied dwelling. And 2019 CF 4807AO for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, criminal mischief, and petty theft. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in any one of the 3 cases. You're not to return back to their residences or the address listed in the affidavits. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription or consume them. Your bond on 2019 CF 4801AO will be set at $7,000 as stated on the affidavit. It'll be $10,000 on 2019 CF 4805. And in 2019 CF 4807, $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on counts 2 and 3. Okay, is this Miss Goodley? Okay. 2019 MM 2542AO. The Office of the Public Defender has filed a motion for ROR for Miss Goodley. And Mr. Williams, it's your motion.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just waiting for you.
Oh, I would like for Ms. Goodley to be sworn in.
Okay.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Goodley, let's talk about your personal assets.
You're gonna have to talk up, Mr. Williams. It's
Okay, I'm
really
sorry.
hard to hear you.
I'm so
You
sorry.
can yell. It's okay.
Okay.
I just need to be able to hear what you're saying.
Well, I have I've been told that my voice carries, so I've been training myself not to talk as loud.
No, talk.
Okay.
The acoustics are not great in here.
Okay. Ms. Goodley, let's talk about your personal assets. Do you own a bank account?
No, sir.
Do you have any personal effects that you are able to put up as collateral for a bond?
No, sir.
Do you have any other effects that you know that are in your possession that you can put up for a bond?
No.
Your Honor, I'll ask that judicial notice is taken that she's declared indigent as far as her personal assets.
Ms. Bush, do you have any questions for Ms. Goodley?
No, Your Honor, and the state is not objecting to the granting of this motion.
Okay, all right. So, Ms. Goodley, I'm gonna grant the motion. I'm gonna release you ROR on both your counts, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to keep in touch with your attorneys.
Okay.
If you move, your phone number changes, you make sure they know all of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and if you get arrested again, it's likely that that gets revoked, okay? So just be mindful of that, okay?
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Good luck to you.
And Your Honor, the state needs a couple of minutes before we go to the
Sure.
33-day motions. Mr. Williams. But we already did it because you hadn't asked me to do before. And so, and I stood up.
Okay. This doesn't involve you, I'm just been given a corrected case number for Mr. Williams, Clarence David Williams.
Yes.
Was that your, did I appoint the PD? I think. No, I did not. He's gonna get his own attorney. So, it's just, I've gotten a correct case number, which has been changed to 2019 CF 4888AO. Same conditions, same bond. Huh?
Can I stand up like that before you take this? Just, I also.
Are we having Mr. Burton? I have okay. It looked like a bond motion, but it's not. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna handle that.
Just ask me. Am I going to, do I have any that I don't? And then look to see. And that was based on the fact that she had minimal history. The facts of the resisting were very minimal. I mean, it wasn't like a super active, spitting at them or anything like that, so. No, don't. It's just for, while it's on my brain, just for future reference. We don't have to go into the hearing if I'm not going to object. Right, you don't have. And Chloe knows how to, because she was out here for so long. Chloe knows how to do the motions. Okay. So she covered everything in motion. And she probably knew that,
She needed a minute or
read that
two?
motion to me.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Your Honor, just one moment, Your Honor, I'm sorry. And that is 8766.
Huh? Yeah, I know. Thank you. It's so funny because I was just reading that email. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's ready.
So, this is a motion filed by Ms. Dickerson, 2019 CF 103AO, Rodney Burton. It appears as though I saw an information was filed
Yes,
this
Your
morning
Honor.
at 9:30 in the morning. So I'm gonna deny that. (2019) CF 350AO, Brunel Mertis Jr.
A notice of non-filing was filed on April 8th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3325AO, Christian Moises Ramos.
A notice of non-filing on April 8th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3300AO, Mark Hugo Williams.
An information was filed on April 8th. Filing ID is 87650465.
That will be denied. 2019 MM1902AO, Tuan Nguyen.
A request for administrative transfer from county to circuit court, and a felony information has been filed, clocked in copy has been provided to defense counsel.
Okay. Do you have that case number?
It has not been assigned a
Okay,
case
so that-
number yet.
Okay, that will be denied. 2019 MM1270AO, Milton Harrison McKinney.
An information was filed on April 8th. Filing ID is 87650647.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3308AO, Ali Alfred Russell.
A notice of non-filing on April 8th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3260AO, Kenneth Bernard Smith.
An information was filed on April 8th. Filing ID is 87660987.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3259AO, Kenneth Bernard Smith.
An information was filed on April 8th. Filing ID is 87648234.
That will be denied. And finally, 2019 CF 3185, Lashonda Latrell Morgan.
An information was filed on April 8th. Filing ID is 87650152.
That will be denied. All right, and we'll be in recess until this afternoon. we are on the record. It is April 9th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 2. May I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Good afternoon, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good afternoon, Robert Williams with the Office of the Public Defender.
All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Molly Gray.
All right, Miss Gray, you are here. You are charged in 2019 MO 627AO with 3 counts of disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Is there an offer for Miss Gray?
No, Your Honor, based on the facts, no.
Yeah, and I'm not going to make an offer based on what I saw either in what I read. So I'm going to put her in pretrial release. And she's not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal substances. She's subject to random urinalysis within 24 hours of her release. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Joseph Churko.
Okay, do we know what happened to Mr. Bronson? Do you know what happened to Mr. Bronson? Did he bond out? Okay, we'll reset him. All right, Mr. Chirco? Okay.
Yes.
All right, sir, you are here in 2019 CF 4920AO. You were arrested for burglary of a structure, criminal mischief over 200, under 1,000, and possession of burglary tools. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender in that case and as well in 2019 CF 4921. You were arrested for attempted burglary of a structure, possession of burglary tools, and criminal mischief over 200, under 1,000. I find probable cause. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to return back to either one of the locations. The Family Dollar Store at 3077 North Orange Blossom Trail. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case.
And Your Honor, may we have that include?
Co-defendant, yes, and the co-defendant as well. And in 2019 CF 4921AO, you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to return back to, excuse me, to 2901 West Orange Blossom Trail, the Chevron gas station. And you're not to have any contact with any victim or witness or co-defendant. Your bond in the 4920 case is $3,500 on count 1, $100 on count 2, $150 on count 3. And in 2019 CF 4921, your bond on count 1 is $2,500 and $150 on count 2 and $100 on count 3. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Willie Cleveland, ma'am.
Mr. Cleveland, you are here in 2016 CF 4089AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of probation. And the judge in that case has set your bond at none. You should be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days on that case. And in 2018, MM 2889AO, you were arrested for failing to appear for arraignment on 5/9/18, and the judge set your bond at $2,000. I am going to appoint the public defender in both cases if you don't already have them on the other one, okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Carlos Figueroa.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Fabian Villegas?
Yes, Your Honor, he bonded.
Okay, we'll take no action on him. All right, Mr. Figueroa. Okay. You're here in 2019, CF 4916AO. You were arrested for 3 counts of sexual battery on a child under 12. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. State, would you like to be heard as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask the court to continue holding Mr. Figueroa at no bond on each count, as they are all F1 PBLs. The state is making this request by asking the court to find that proof is evident or presumption is great based on the facts contained within the sworn arrest affidavit, which contains facts and recounting of the abuse by the child, and the child is identified in that affidavit, and the child has known Mr. Figueroa over the past 3 years. The state would ask that the court find that proof is evident, presumption is great, that Mr. Figueroa is the person that was identified by the child victim, and continue to hold him at no bond. Also to order that he has no contact with anyone under the age of 18, no contact with the victim or victim's family, and no return to the scene, which was at 7209 South Orange Blossom Trail, possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
Mr. Williams?
No argument from the defense, Your Honor.
I mean, just based on the victim's statements with nothing else, I'm not sure if I can find proof evident presumption great. However,
And I apologize, Your Honor, but the
mean, there's-
victim is identified, and the victim, there are facts that are contained that the victim knew Mr. Figueroa.
I understand.
And so identified him.
yeah, I understand that. I just, based on what's here, there's no attempt to even have talked to him. There's no controlled call. There's no statements by the defendant. There's no indication that they did a search warrant and found any of these things that the victim talked about. My bond's going to be really high. But I don't think, based on just what's here, that there's proof evident presumption great. If I did find proof evident presumption great, I'd still be giving him a bond based on the lack of information from law enforcement as to all the information that they've gleaned from the victim. It's just the child's statements, which not that that's not proof.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a very high burden.
The state would just assert that there are enough substantive facts and details
Right, but they're not
contained in that.
corroborated, so that's my problem. So these are going to be the conditions of your release, Mr. Figueroa. You're not to have any contact with any minor children under the age of 18. You're not to have any contact with the victim or witnesses or any family members of the victim. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to, I believe the address is 7209 South Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando, Florida. Your bond on count 1 will be $250.
May the state just ask that the state be allowed 24 hours. At this time, the state will announce that the state will file a pretrial detention motion in this matter, but the state would ask to have 24 hours in order to do so.
Can you show me that that's permitted in the rule to file a motion at this? I mean, are you asking for 24 hours
Yes.
to provide more information to the court?
Your Honor, the state is announcing that the state will file a pretrial detention motion, and the rule says that the court may give the state up to 72 hours to do so, Your Honor.
What rule is that?
That's what I'm getting ready to get.
907.
Your Honor, the state is going from 907.041 to the
E,
rule.
subsection E, when a person charged with a crime for which pretrial detention could be ordered is arrested, the arresting agency may detain such defendant prior to the filing by the state attorney of a motion seeking pretrial detention for a period not to exceed 24 hours.
And, Your Honor, I'm going to the pretrial detention, the rule that governs the pretrial detention motion as well,
903046.
which And Your Honor, in Rule
3.132.
3.132. And the court has already found probable cause to exist in this matter.
So, a person arrested for an offense for which detention may be ordered under section 907041 shall be taken before a judicial officer for first appearance within 24 hours. State may file at first appearance a motion seeking pretrial detention, setting forth with particularity the grounds and essential facts on which pretrial detention is sought, certifying the state attorneys received testimony under oath supporting the grounds and the essential facts alleged in the motion. If no such motion is filed, the judicial officer may inquire whether the state intends to file a motion. If so, grant the state no more than 3 days to file under the subdivision upon a showing by the probable cause.
And while the court did not ask the state
Yeah, no,
informed
I
it.
understand. So you're asking for 24 hours?
So the state is asking for 24 hours up to the 72 hours, but the state will work within the 24
I will
hours.
grant that request and allow the state the time to file a motion for pretrial detention. And so, do you want this to be recalled tomorrow, or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll reset this for tomorrow with regards to a pretrial detention motion. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Christopher Fullenwalder.
All right, Mr. Fullenwalder, you are here in 2019 CF 4908AO. You're arrested for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause for the offense. You're not to return back to that scene of the offense, which is that 3167 Daniels Road. You're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses or your co-defendant in the case. Your bond will stay at $1,000. You're out on bond in 2019 CF 1427AO. I'm revoking that bond and setting it at none. Huh? I'm sorry, did you want to fill out a form for the public defender?
Excuse me?
Did you fill out a form for the public defender?
No, ma'am, not for this case, no.
Okay. Do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you work?
Not as of right now, no.
Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Do we know if he has the public defender on the other case too? He does? Okay.
May I ask a question, though?
You may want to ask Mr. Williams first before you ask me. right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Marcia Hagler.
All right, Ms. Hagler, you're here in 2019 CF 4909AO. You're arrested for defrauding an innkeeper less than 300 and grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to return back to 3167 Daniels Road.
Okay.
You're not to have any contact with any witnesses, victims, or your co-defendant in the case.
Okay.
Your bond on count 1 will be $100. Your bond on count 2 will be $1,000. You're also out on bond for burglary of a dwelling and criminal mischief. 2018 CF 14044AO. I am revoking that bond and setting it at none. Does she have the PD on that case? Yeah. Conflict counsel?
Good.
All right, please tell me your name.
Aubrey Hill.
All right, Ms. Hale, you're here in 2019 CF 4904AO. You were arrested for possession of heroin, possession of cocaine, resisting an officer without violence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $1,000. Your bond on count 3 will be $100. Your bond on count 4 will be $100. You have the PD is going to be appointed to represent you. You have a violation of probation on view out of Lake County, and your bond is set at none in that case. Please tell me your name, sir.
Silverio Irizarry.
All right, Mr. Irizarry, you're here in 2019 CF 4915AO. You were arrested for possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $100. Please tell me your name, ma'am.
Christy Kelly.
All right, Miss Kelly, you're here in 2019 CF 4912. You were arrested for criminal mischief over 1,000, battery, and interfering with fire equipment facilities. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to the Travel Lodge Hotel at 1850 West Land Street Road. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witnesses in the case. You're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. Your bond on count 1 will be $2,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $500. And your bond on count 3 will be $100. And I'm gonna appoint the public defender if I did not say that. Please tell me your name.
Raúl Osorio Candelario.
Your Honor, call upon it.
Okay, thank you. Take no action on that. All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 4907AO. You were arrested for possession of heroin, possession of cannabis. Less than 20 grams. And resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $100. Your bond on count 3 will be $100. Please tell me your name, sir.
Matthew Reynolds.
Mr. Reynolds, you're here in 2019 CF 4903AO. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case. Your bond will be set at $2,500.
You raised it?
Yep.
There's no way to get pretrial diversion and to get out?
We don't, there's no, you haven't been charged formally.
There's no way you can leave it at 1,000? I was supposed to have, somebody was trying to bond me out.
Well, I'm looking at your history, sir. You have 7 felonies, 6 misdemeanors, 3 failures to appear. Your most recent one is 2017. You have 54 unknown convictions. You have,
Somebody was working on bonding me out. Please leave it at 1,000.
all right, please tell me your name, sir.
It's Otis Warner, ma'am.
Mr. Warner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Warner, you're here in 2019 CF 4914AO. You're arrested for possession of MDMA ecstasy, possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. In 2019 CF 4913AO, you were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender on both cases. You're not to drive without a valid license. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on 4914. So they listed as intent to sell in the state. You seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes, Your Honor, and
And
I don't, well, I do see that.
Tiny baggies.
The baggies,
yeah.
the scale.
It looks like that was the intent of the officer. Because it's clearly in the affidavit. Under 893131A 80.
And I don't know what the JIT code -80 is. Do you, yeah, but do you have the -80? Because what we're showing is just straight possession. Yeah, but we're just showing straight possession, not with intent to sell.
He puts it in the affidavit, the body of the affidavit, and then it's not,
And, Your Honor, then the body of,
not on the
the written body of the affidavit supersedes the face sheet of the affidavit.
Right.
And I just, my eye didn't go to it quickly enough to.
In the charging document? Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's the correct statute. Yeah, it's possession with intent. So I do based on what's charged in there. Looks like they just ran out of room maybe. And so the bond will stay at the $15,000 on count one, $100 on count two, $100 on count three. In the 4913, it'll remain at the $2,500. And sir, you're out on bond for sale and delivery of cannabis in 2019 CF 18288AO. I am revoking that bond and setting it at none.
And Your Honor, he also has another out on bond, 2019 CF 462. Does the court have that?
Okay, I don't have a sheet for that, but let me see.
That was a notice
It's
of
like the
non-file.
notice of non-filing was filed on February 11th.
And that was on 2/11/19, 2019.
Yes, Your Honor, but he was, let me see if there's been any update. He was merely released.
Well, there was a notice of non-filing.
Yes, Your Honor, at that time, we were not filing it within the
Right.
33-day period.
And that was February 11th, 2 months ago.
And the state, it was just, because it was on the sheet, the state's just asking whether or not the court had it before the court
I didn't
in
have
order
it.
to
It's
address
on the
it.
face sheet. It wasn't on my, there was no bond form, no out on bond form. I mean, at this point, my guess is that,
The court is just taking no action on that.
yeah, I'm not,
Correct.
okay, I'm not gonna take any action on that. I mean, you're arrested back in on January 9th. There's a notice of non-filing with regards to the victim contract. So I'm not gonna take any action on that one today. Thank you. right, sir, please tell me your name.
Donald Jackson.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Alexander? Okay, we'll take no action on him. Mr. Jackson? Okay. All right, sir, you're here in 2019 MM 2983AO. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Did you want to try and resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see if the state has an offer for you.
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication, 3 days, 2 days credit, time served.
Okay, I think that would get you out today, Mr. Jackson, and I do have to impose court costs, so if that's something you want to do, we can resolve it today. Yeah? Are you okay with proceeding without an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Leave today.
Thank you. All right, you want to enter a plea of no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Okay.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the no contest plea to possession of drug paraphernalia. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. I'm going to order that you pay your court costs by April 9th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off, okay? If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, please, sorry. Please tell me your name, sir.
McAllister.
Okay, Mr. McAllister, you're here in 2019 MM 2982AO. You were arrested for trespass on a property after warning and petty theft. It's a retail offense. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. Does the state have an offer for him today?
Yes, it's an adjudication, 10 days, 2 days credit, time served, no return to the Wawa at 1200 West Colonial Drive. Abide by all trespass warnings.
Are you interested in that, Mr. McAllister?
Yeah. 10 days. Okay. Yeah.
And I do have to impose court costs.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Mr. McAllister, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
All right.
Sorry? Is this your
Is
signature?
that my
at the-
signature? Yeah.
Okay. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yeah.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yeah.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to plead to both the charges. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. That'll be on each count, and they'll run concurrent, which means at the same time. You're not to return back to the Wawa at 1200 West Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida. You're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing Within 30 days, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Okay? And I think he gets fingerprinted. We didn't talk about the theft enhancements and stuff, so just before he leaves, you may want to let him know about theft and it being an enhanceable offense, so that he understands that the more he gets, the worse it gets.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah,
After these 10 days, I will be released.
yeah. Well, I think you'd get credit. You get, no, you're not? Okay.
They just issued a new warrant on him, they served it on him as an FTA for a felony case.
Okay.
He has no bond.
Okay. Did you get served with that?
Yeah, he'll be in IX tomorrow.
Okay.
So after the 10 days, I won't be released.
You have another case that's holding you
Okay, so I'll still be here for that.
for a different case.
All right.
Okay? But this case is resolved, so you don't ever have to come back to court for this case.
So I don't have a court date for the other one yet?
Not yet. Tomorrow, I guess I'll see you again.
All right,
We'll meet again tomorrow
for the other one.
for the other one.
All right.
Okay? Can you please tell me your name, sir?
Will Vanellis.
All right, you're here in 2019 MM2987AO. You were arrested for loitering or prowling. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to 4100 Lake Underhill Road. Those Enclave Apartments. Your bond will be set at $500. You're out on bond. 2019 CF 2760AO. I'm revoking that bond and setting it at none. Do you have the PD on your other case, sir? No, I'm gonna appoint them to represent you on that case too, okay? Thank you. All right, please tell me your name.
Michael Raymond, Valley Jr.
All right, sir, you're here and looks like an over-the-line county arrest. For throwing a lighted match, which is a conservation environment offense, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. Is this going back to that county? Okay, so I'm not appointing the public defender here. Okay. All right, your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $500. And you're out on bond here in Orange County in 2019 CF 22530. I'm revoking that and setting the bond at none. All right, please tell me your name. All right, sir, this is another over the county line out of Polk County. You were arrested for fleeing and eluding with lights and sirens activated, reckless driving with damage to person or property, resisting an officer without violence, and 3 counts of driving while license suspended as a habitual traffic offender. I'm not sure state where that's, I know that this isn't our county, but I don't know how he can be charged with 3 counts of driving while license suspended as a habitual traffic offender.
And Your Honor, the state doesn't have an affidavit, so.
Oh, okay. I
the
mean,
state-
I
All
have,
the state has is the out-of-county sheet.
so I don't find probable cause for 3. I find for 1. And there's also 3 counts of a hit and run, leaving the scene of a crash involving damage to property, however. And then a non-moving traffic violation for failing to register. I only see 2 vehicles that were hit that law enforcement saw, not showing a 3rd. So I find probable cause for 2, not 3. So counts 5 and 6 and 9 are ROR'd. Count 1, bond will be $25,000. Count 2, $150. Count 3, $100. Count 4, $2,500. ROR. Count 7, $1,000. Count 8, $1,000. Count 9, ROR, and count 10, $100. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid license. All right, please tell me your name.
Jeffrey Wayne Finley.
Okay, Mr. Finley. You're here in 2019 MO 638AO. You were arrested for an open container. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you? You want to try and resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there an offer for Mr. Finley?
Yes, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days, Orange County Jail, 2 days credit, time served.
Did you hear that, Mr. Finley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to accept that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You want to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. you. All right, please tell me, oh, sorry. Please tell me your name. I'm like repeating the same thing. Mr. Finley, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation? It's been a long day.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Okay? Good
Yes,
luck
ma'am.
to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, please tell me your name.
Brian Foley.
Mr. Foley, you're here in 19 MO 639AO. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served.
I have a court date tomorrow. Like, I'm supposed to be in court tomorrow.
Here
So,
in Orange County?
Yeah.
They'll transport you.
All right.
You want to accept the offer?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to plead no contest?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Foley, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yeah.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yeah.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 9th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Okay, good luck to you.
Hey, man, but I've been here before and they didn't transport me. See, this is, I wasn't locked up, so I was going to go to court.
Do you have
on
the
my own.
public defender?
No.
You, on your other case?
I had a copy of a ticket. You feel me? I had to show up at court tomorrow. You feel me? You see, they're not going to take me, and then they're going to put a,
Do we know if he has another case pending? Is it like a ticket you got for driving?
I got a ticket.
What
for,
kind of ticket?
For shoplifting at Walmart.
Okay, so it's a notice to appear?
A notice to appear.
Okay.
It's tomorrow. But
Okay.
they won't take me from this jail. I'm telling you, I've been here before. They didn't take me.
Hold on. Relax. Relax. Okay? We'll try and figure it out. Okay. Okay, so will they do in the arraignment in courtroom 2 for him?
They'll reschedule it for court.
So they'll reschedule it for courtroom 2? Okay. So can we guarantee that?
You guarantee it.
And not.
See?
Scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay.
But they'll hold his arraignment tomorrow downtown.
And since I won't
Okay.
be there, they won't take me. They'll
Okay.
put out a warrant for
Can
me.
you give me the case number?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
2019 MM2547.
I'm going to contact that judge, and I'm going to let him know that you're here, and they're going to reschedule your arraignment,
Thank you,
okay?
ma'am.
Unless you
Thank
get
you.
out first,
Thank you, ma'am.
okay? Just
Thank
make sure you keep your the clerk updated as to
Okay.
any contact information. But I will let them know that you're here,
Thank you.
okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Because you know they would have put out a warrant for me
okay.
if you didn't do that. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Ram Zaire Taylor.
All right, Mr. Taylor. You're here in 2019 MO 641AO. You were arrested for an open container violation. I do find probable cause. And you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you?
Yes.
Okay. Is there an
It's
offer?
adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served.
You want to take the offer?
Can you reduce the days?
Is there a reason for the 4 days state or?
Yes, Your Honor. Coupled with his multiple municipal ordinance convictions, his other convictions, his out-of-state convictions.
Out-of-state
That's
conviction.
where the state, how the state came up with the offer.
That's the state's offer.
Okay.
Do you want to? You don't have to accept it, Mr. Taylor.
Now, if I don't accept it, what happened?
Then I'll give you a bond.
And then you come back 6 months later?
Huh?
Then the court date?
You'll get a court date. Not today, but later on.
No, I'll take the
Okay.
offer.
Do you want to plead no contest, Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm holding up this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is that a yes? You got to speak up because we're being recorded.
Yes.
All right. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
All right. Are you on probation anywhere? Okay.
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Right.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order that you pay those by April 9th, 2020, okay? It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir.
How much court costs?
$223.
Can you reduce that?
I can't. You have to go through the clerk's office to do that. And I think there's a way to get a civil judgment through the clerk's office, but you gotta follow through with their procedures. Okay? You
All
can
right,
fill
thank
out some forms but I can't reduce it to a judgment today.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Good luck to you. Is that anything else? All right. That concludes our afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
You are here for an initial appearance after detention. The rules of criminal procedure require that you be brought before a judicial officer within 24 hours of your arrest. The purpose of the initial appearance is to have a judge list the charges against you, inform you of certain rights that you have, and to determine the conditions of your release. You should have already received a copy of these charges. The judge will review your paperwork to determine if there was probable cause to arrest you. If the judge finds probable cause, he or she will then determine if you qualify for bond and what the monetary and non-monetary conditions of your bond should be. If the judge does not have enough information to make a probable cause determination for your arrest, the state may be given additional time to amend the paperwork. You should also be aware of the following rights afforded to you by the Constitution. You are not required to say anything at this proceeding. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to communicate with counsel, family, or friends, and if necessary, you will be provided a reasonable means to do so. You have the right to counsel. If you have not already retained counsel and cannot afford counsel, the judge will appoint you a public defender. For the purposes of today's initial appearance proceedings, you may be able to briefly speak with a public defender regardless of whether the public defender is appointed for you. In order to have an attorney appointed by the court to represent you, you must be financially eligible, as determined by the court based on financial information you provide. Therefore, if you have not already done so, please complete, to the best of your knowledge, the financial affidavits provided by the correction officers. An application fee for the services of appointed counsel will be assessed. If you do not speak English or Spanish, please let a corrections officer know. When the judge is ready, she or he will begin calling your case by name. Please listen carefully for your name. When called, please approach the microphone as directed by the corrections officers. Thank you.
Usted se encuentra aquí para una audiencia o vista preliminaria, después de haber sido arrestado. Las leyes y estatutos criminales del estado de la Florida requieren que se celebre una vista preliminaria ante un oficial judicial dentro de un plazo de 24 horas después de su arresto. El propósito de esta vista preliminaria es para que el juez pronuncie los cargos contra usted, para que se les comunique a usted sus derechos procesales y para determinar las condiciones de su libertad o fianza. Ya usted debería haber recibido una copia de estas alegaciones o acusaciones por escrito. Ahora, el juez revisará la documentación en su caso para determinar si existe motivo fundado o causa probable para su arresto y detención. Si el juez determina que existe causa probable o motivo fundado, entonces decidirá si usted califica para que se le otorgue una fianza, tanto como cuáles serían las condiciones monetarias o no monetarias de dicha fianza. Si el juez no posee suficiente información para determinar si existe causa probable o motivo fundado para justificar el arresto, se le concederá a la Fiscalía tiempo adicional para modificar la documentación. También se les avisa que posee los siguientes derechos que se les otorgan por la Constitución. A usted no se le puede obligar a decir nada durante esta vista. Cualquier cosa que diga podrá ser utilizada en su contra como evidencia. Usted tiene el derecho de comunicarse con un abogado, pariente o amigo, y si es necesario, que se les proporcione los medios razonables y disponibles para hacerlo. Usted tiene el derecho a un abogado. Si todavía no ha encontrado o contratado un abogado y no tiene los recursos para hacerlos, entonces el juez le nombrará un defensor público. Para el propósito de la audiencia preliminaria de hoy, se le permitirá hablar brevemente con un abogado de la Oficina del Defensor Público, aun cuando no se le haya nombrado para representarle en todo el caso. Para poder recibir la designación de un abogado, primero debe calificar económicamente según lo determine el juez. Esto será basado en la información financiera que usted proporcione aquí. Por lo tanto, si no lo ha hecho todavía de la mejor manera posible, por favor, llene el formulario de insolvencia económica que se le ha proporcionado por el oficial de correcciones. Se le impondrá un recargo o costo por los servicios del defensor público. Si usted no habla inglés, por favor, hágale saber al oficial de correcciones. Cuando esté listo, el juez comenzará el proceso llamando a cada una persona y caso por su nombre. Por favor, esté pendiente para pasar adelante cuando escuche su nombre, y cuando escuche su nombre, haga el favor de acercarse al micrófono, tal como le indique el oficial de correcciones. Muchas gracias por su atención.
Hi, we're just waiting for the interpreter.
Yes, Your Honor.
They're not here yet.
Okay.
Then those are the ones that are at the top of the list, so
Yeah.
we'll get those in just a second.
Okay.
Thanks.
Your Honor. I don't think she can hear me. Okay. I don't know if you could turn off the speakers that you did.
Okay, I think we can go ahead and get started. Do we have a list for the public defenders? Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Judge Savage. We're going to go ahead and start. You're here for your first appearances. When I call your name, I need you to please come on up to the microphone. I'm going to tell you the reason why you've been detained, whether or not there's probable cause for that detention, and what the conditions of your release will be, if any. If you were arrested on a warrant, that means another judge already reviewed the alleged facts and decided that there was probable cause to issue the warrant, so I don't have to revisit that determination. I typically don't change another judge's bonds unless it's the type of charge that can temporarily come in as a zero, but then I'm obligated to consider setting a bond, and then of course I will consider it. I have an agent from pretrial release on this side of the camera with me. I'll be asking her for history. I know enough to know that not everything she says necessarily was a conviction. This is not about proving you guilty of anything. It's about deciding what would be appropriate conditions of making sure you come back for your next court date and you stay out of trouble. If we know your next court date, we'll tell you what they are before you leave. If we say on demand, that means it hasn't been scheduled yet. Just please keep in touch with your lawyer or the clerk's office if you don't miss your court dates. We are being recorded. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, I will appoint one for you if you qualify. Many of you have already filled out the form, so if you do qualify, I'll let you know. If you didn't qualify, I'll tell you that as well, and if there's nothing here, I'm going to ask you, what do you plan to do for a lawyer? We'll just go from there. We're going to start with the Spanish and then go to the out-of-counties. Appearances from the state, please. Thank you. Public defenders?
Sarah Jordan, Your Honor.
The clerk was like, you didn't get everybody to put their name on the record. I'm like, I'm doing that right now. Court interpreting?
Jorge Bonilla, state certified court interpreter.
Have you been sworn?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and from PTR?
Officer Dunkirk.
Thank you. All right, Jonathan Garcia. Please state your name.
Declara tu nombre, por favor.
Jonathan García Perello.
Jonathan García Perello.
Mr. Garcia, it says you're going to be hiring a private attorney. Is that correct?
Señor García, dice aquí que vas a contratar un abogado privado. ¿Eso es correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
So you were arrested on a warrant signed by Judge Laurent.
Fuiste detenido bajo orden de arresto firmada por la juez Laurent.
Accessory and attempted murder.
Accesorio y tentativa de asesinato.
Your bonds are set at 0.
Se ordenó tu detención sin fianza.
Your next court date will be on demand. That means they'll let you know.
Tu próxima vista será según se cite. Eso quiere decir que te van a informar de cómo es.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Hector Núñez Santos, PD appointed. Please state your name, sir.
Declara tu nombre, por favor.
Héctor Núñez.
Héctor Núñez.
Mr. Núñez, you were arrested for burglary of a dwelling, grand theft, and grand theft auto.
Fuiste detenido por allanamiento ilegal de una morada, por hurto mayor y por hurto mayor de un automóvil.
There is probable cause.
¿Existe causa probable?
PTR, any history?
¿Algún antecedente?
He has possession of cocaine. Back in 2016, it was convicted.
Tiene posesión de cocaína en el 2016 con convicción.
DUI, which was no crossed,
conducir bajo los efectos que se desestimó,
possession of cocaine and synthetic marijuana,
posesión de cocaína y marihuana sintética,
which was convicted in 2016,
lo cual conllevó convicción en el 2016.
and his last conviction was a Duelis, and it was convicted.
Su última convicción fue de conducir con licencia suspendida.
Any failures to appear?
¿Alguna incomparecencia?
No judge.
Ninguna juez.
Bond in count one will be stayed at $5,000.
La fianza de $5,000 en el primer cargo permanecerá en vigor.
Count two, 150. Count three, 150.
150 en el segundo cargo, 150 en el tercer cargo.
With pretrial release, no return.
Con condiciones de supervisión bajo la Oficina de Libertad con antelación a juicio, se prohíbe regreso.
Next court date will be.
On demand.
Próxima vista será según se cite.
Thank you.
Gracias.
¿Cuándo?
When is that?
They'll let you know. They haven't scheduled it yet.
No la han pautado todavía, te van a avisar cuando sea.
Ok.
Thank you. By mistake, I skipped Mario Monsalve. It got attached to the back of the other one. Please state your name, sir.
¿Te da tu nombre, por favor?
Mario Monsalve.
Mario Monsalve.
Sir, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. I've read the affidavit. There is probable cause.
Fuiste detenido por agresión física, violencia doméstica. He leído la affidavit y determinó causa probable.
PTR, any history?
¿Algún antecedente?
Judge, he has no prior history or arrest.
No tiene antecedente criminal ni arrestos previos.
Sir, based on what I read in this affidavit, your bond is going to be set at $2,000.
Basado en lo que he leído en esta affidavit, determina una fianza de $2,000.
Pretrial release.
Con supervisión bajo la Oficina de Libertad con antelación a juicio.
No contact with the listed victim.
Se prohíbe el contacto con la víctima listada.
No return to the shared residence.
Se prohíbe el regreso al domicilio compartido.
You may have a one-time assist order to retrieve your personal belongings.
Usted puede regresar una vez con escolta policial para recoger efectos personales.
Do not possess any weapons or firearms.
No posea armas blancas ni armas de fuego.
Public Defender's Office is appointed.
Se designa defensor público. La Fiscalía también pediría la condición de que se prohíbe el consumo de alcohol.
Was alcohol a listed possible contributor?
¿El alcohol fue un factor? Sí, señoría, creo que sí.
I don't remember seeing that in this one.
No recuerdo haber
Let me
visto
double
eso.
check.
Déjame verificar.
Do you recall where in the narrative you saw it?
¿Recuerda dónde en la narrativa lo vio?
I believe it's on the first page, Your Honor. It says, I observed an unidentified male on the ground covered in blood and appeared to be intoxicated.
En la primera página de la narrativa, cuando dice vi un varón en el suelo cubierto en sangre y se presume que estaba ebrio.
So do not possess or consume any alcohol while on pretrial release.
Se prohíbe la posesión, consumo o uso de alcohol mientras esté en libertad con antelación a juicio.
Next court date.
April 18th is still in jail. May 10th, 8:15, courtroom 4A is out.
Próxima vista, 18 de abril, Sean está preso. 10 de mayo en la sala 4A del Centro Judicial de Condado de Flora, si sale libre bajo fianza.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Anybody else in Spanish?
¿Habrá alguien más que necesita los servicios de intérprete en español? Levante la mano ahora. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So the next group are the out-of-county warrants. Let me just say this right off the top. These are not Osceola charges. They're not locals. They all are warrants. A judge from another county issued them. They all have the bonds that they have. We don't assign you a public defender here because you got to wait till you get back to that county. If there is a bond and you want to post it, you can get out of the Osceola jail and then you'll get a court date for your other county. If there's not a bond or you don't post your bond, then that county will come and pick you up. I don't have court dates for those either. That even knows. So Rebecca Slater. Say your name.
Rebecca Slater.
Thank you. Ms. Slater, it looks like you were arrested on an out-of-county warrant from Volusia. Your bond is $5,000. We'll let them know you're here. If you can post bond, you can get out. If not, they'll come pick you up.
All right.
Thank you. Alicia Stern. Please state your name, ma'am.
Alicia Ann Stern.
Thank you. Ms. Stern, also, you were picked up on a Volusia County warrant, but this one is set at 0, so we'll let Volusia know we have you. They'll come pick you up.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. John Paul Torres.
John Paul Torres.
Please state your name, sir.
John Paul Torres.
Thank you. Mr. Torres, it looks like you were arrested on Volusia County warrants. The warrants actually have bonds. I don't know if these are child support purges. It looks like, it says failure to appear, but I've never seen them in this amount. Anyway, they're each $323. So if you can post those here, you can get out of the Osceola jail, and if not, Volusia will come and pick you up.
Your Honor, those are for traffic.
That's fine, whatever it is, I've never seen that weird amount, so I just wanted to clarify for you that that's what the warrant said.
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor, before we proceed on the warrants, would you be willing to address one of the, we have a couple here for a mutual battery situation. We'd like to address the husband who is here before we bring the wife in.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem. Tell me which one it is.
Joseph Reyes.
All right, and he would be in the new arrests.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that way you can have him removed before the other person comes up?
Correct.
Okay. So Joseph Reyes. Good afternoon, please say your name.
Joseph Reyes.
Thank you. Mr. Reyes, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. I've read the affidavit and there is probable cause. PTR, any history?
He just had, in 2018, he just has a sex offender violation that was dismissed. Other than that, he does not have any history.
Okay. Mr. Reyes, based on what I read in this affidavit, your bond will be set at $1,000 with pretrial release, no contact with the victim. You may have the public defender appointed. And do you have somewhere else that you can stay? Because I have to put one of you out.
Yes.
So would you prefer to go find someplace else to stay and she can stay in the house?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
All right, so do not return, one-time assist order to retrieve personal belongings.
Your Honor, would you be willing to consider a direct pretrial release based on financial circumstances of the defendant?
Not based on what I read in this affidavit. Thank you. Next court date will be?
April 18th is still in jail, May 10th, 8:15, courtroom 4A if out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Devin Bartlett. Good afternoon, please say your name.
Devon Bartlett.
Mr. Bartlett, you were arrested on a capious, 2 counts, failure to appear. Bond in count 1 says 1,000, bond in count 2 says 250, so your total is 1,250.
Your Honor, we would request an ROR for the defendant based on the fact that he did not receive notice. The address listed was old, and I believe he has been or has become transient since the incident. You'll notice in the benchmark page that his mail was returned of the notice.
You have to take that up with the judge before whom the case is assigned. That request is denied without prejudice. Bond is stayed. Public Defender's Office is appointed. Next court date.
April 18th is still in jail, May 9th, 8:30, courtroom 5B if out.
Thank you. Alan Gadar.
Alan Gadar.
This was from the Sheriff's Office. Your Honor, the defendant is requesting you waive the reading of his charges today.
Okay, give me one moment, please. All right, sir, please say your name.
Alan Gadar.
Thank you. Mr. Gadar does not qualify for the public defender. His income is above guidelines. Mr. Gadar, the public defender there asked me to not say the charges out loud. Are you aware of the reason why they said you were arrested?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you wish for me to not tell you what those charges are? You want me to not say them? You don't want me to tell you?
Oh, you can go ahead, tell me.
Okay, so you're arrested for aggravated battery domestic. There is probable cause as issued by Judge Egan when he signed the warrant. I've read it as well. PTR, any history?
He's got a 2017 battery. I believe it's the same victim. That's the only history we have in Florida. However, out of Michigan, it's just traffic offenses stemming from 2007 to 2008, and only 2 convictions on that.
2 convictions for DV? Or traffic?
No, it's just traffic offenses.
Okay.
Yes.
Your bond is going to be set at $1,000 plus pretrial release, no contact with the listed victim. No
Ma'am,
return to any shared residence. You can have an assist order if you need to retrieve your personal belongings.
Your Honor, my wife is 38 weeks pregnant, as I'm sure it was stated in the report.
That's exactly why the charges are what they say they are. So,
okay.
yeah. You're going to have to talk to an attorney, and
Okay.
you'll have to let your lawyer advise you on what's the best way to proceed from here. So, but for now, based on what was read in this affidavit, I can't have you having contact with her because she's the listed victim and she's pregnant.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next court date's on demand.
Thank you. Wissam Haj Hassan. Good afternoon, please say your name.
Wissam Hajsan.
Thank you. Mr. Haj Hassan, you were arrested on a capias for failure to appear. The judge who issued the capias set your bond at $6,999. You do qualify for the public defender, and your next court date will be?
June 12th, 8:15, courtroom 4E.
Thank you. Elijah Jones. Good afternoon, please say your name.
Elijah Jones.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, you were arrested on a capias for failure to appear. It looks like the bond is set at $2,999. You do qualify for the public defender. Your next court date will be?
April 18th is still in jail. May 2nd, 8:15, courtroom 4E, if out.
Thank you. They'll write that down for you. Seth Neiman. Hi, please say your name.
Seth Neiman.
Thank you. Mr. Neiman, it looks like you were arrested for failure to appear. The judge who issued the capias set your bonds at $2,999 count 1 and $150 count 2. And let me see, did you fill out a form for the public defender?
Yes, ma'am. Yesterday.
It says, I guess that means previously appointed?
Yes, Judge.
Previously, all right, so the PDs are already appointed on your case. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next court date?
April 26th, 8:30, courtroom 4E.
Thank you. Michelle Potek? Potek? Good afternoon, please say your name.
Michelle Podak.
Thank you. Ms. Podak, you were arrested on a capias for failure to appear. The judge who issued that capias set your bond at $2,999. You do not qualify for the public defender according to the affidavit you filled out. You were above the guidelines. So your next court date will be?
April 18th is still in jail. May 2nd, 8:15, courtroom 4E, if out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anibal Santos. Please state your name, sir.
Aníbal Santos.
Thank you. So, Mr. Santos, I had a note from the clerk on your paperwork. You have 2 different arrest warrants, each for 1 count of failure to appear. It says the state only filed on 2 of the counts, but originally a warrant was issued on 4 counts, 2 and 2. I don't have all of that information. So, for just to be on the safe side, the warrant's already 0 bond, so it's not going to affect it hugely, but it's going to be this one booking number. Is there a case number on here?
Yes, Judge. 18 CF.
All right, so 2838 will be 0 on the first count, and if there's a second count, it'll be ROR.
Yes.
And then 18 CF 2444, as per the warrant, it'll be 0. If there's a second count, that'll say ROR. That way there's no hang up at the jail. But there are only 2 counts that the state filed on, so I'm not sure where the paperwork got screwed up, but I didn't want to not address those other 2 counts in case they become an issue down the line. Ultimately, it's still a 0 bond, which doesn't help you out, but that's what the judge issued when the warrant was signed. PD is appointed, and your next court date will be?
April 26th, 2 o'clock, courtroom 5D.
Thank you. Yasmin Vargas. Does that help, Cynthia? Okay. Please state your name, ma'am.
Yasmin Vargas.
Thank you. So, Ms. Vargas, you were arrested on a warrant for violation of probation. The bond is set at 0. Vargas, let me see if you've got a PD app. You do. Public Defender's Office is appointed, and your next court date will be?
April 17th, 8:15, courtroom 5F.
For For the record, the affidavit seems to have not made it into this file, so probation needs to double check that they filed it with the right case number because sometimes that happens.
Okay.
Thank you. Jibriel Asante. Good afternoon, sir. Please say your name.
Jabril Rashid Asante.
Thank you. So, Mr. Asante, your arrest was for burglary with assault or battery therein, and it says domestic battery. I don't find PC for the domestic aspect of it. There just wasn't enough detail to raise it to the level of domestic, but there is PC for burglary with a battery and battery. Any history?
Yes, Judge. He has history stemming from 2005 all the way up to 2019. Possession of cocaine, grand theft, no valid. Possession of paraphernalia, sell cocaine. He was adjudicated guilty in 2014 for that. Duelis, possession of cocaine, cannabis. He was adjudicated guilty for that. I have 3 FTAs in the last 3 years. His most recent is he's actually out on bond in 2019 CF 269, set for pretrial on May 22nd.
Bond will be $10,000 in count 1, no contact with the victim, no contact with the co-defendant. Count 2 for the battery will be $1,000, no contact with victim, no contact with co-defendant. And bond in 19 CF 269 will be revoked and set at 0. Public Defender's Office is appointed. Next court date?
On demand.
That means they'll let you know. Thank you. Anthony Barham. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Anthony Barham.
Thank you. Mr. Barham, you were arrested for trespass. I've read the affidavit. There is probable cause. PTR, any history?
He has a couple batteries from 2014 to 2015. He's got an aggravated assault with weapon, which all 3 of these were dismissed. He's got an obstruction that was in Volusia County, which he had a withhold. He has Massachusetts history, but it was unknown or undetermined as to the outcome, whether it was conviction or not, and he meets the criteria for PTR.
Mr. Barham, how long have you been in Kissimmee?
About 6 months now.
Are you planning on staying here, or are you just passing through?
Oh, I'm staying.
I'm going to PTR him, no return. Keep in touch with the public defenders, or with the Public Defender's Office because they're appointed, and with PTR.
All right, you got it.
Next court date?
May 9th, 8:30, courtroom 5D.
Thank you. Javon
Thank you.
Bonner. Please state your name, sir.
Javon Bonner.
Thank you. Mr. Bonner, these are some added charges for which you are now in custody: possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, possession of paraphernalia, introduction of contraband into a correctional facility. There is probable cause. PTR, any other history?
He's currently already incarcerated on traffic with heroin, 4 grams or under 30 kilos, unlawful two-way communication, possession of paraphernalia, resisting officer with violence, manufacture, deliver paraphernalia, and another case with sell and deliver heroin. That's just what he's incarcerated on. He's got an extensive history from 2011 all the way up to 2016. Resisting without violence, battery, DUI, possession of cocaine, burglary on an unoccupied, possession of burglary tools, petty theft. It's a long history.
Wow, you're only 27. Okay. Any FTAs?
Within the last 7 years, I only see 1 judge.
Bonds will be stayed with PTR, random weekly drug testing. Public Defender's Office is appointed. Next court date?
On demand.
That means I'll let you know, Mr. Bonner. Thank you. Sonia Concepcion.
Your bonds are the same, okay?
Please state your name, ma'am.
Sonia Concepcion.
Thank you. So you were arrested for burglary with a battery therein. It says domestic violence battery, also count 2. I don't find PC for the domestic part of it. But there is PC for burglary with a bat and straight bat. Any history?
Judge, she doesn't have any history whatsoever. I did get to speak with the victim in regards to Miss Concepcion and the other gentleman, and they apparently reside at the same hotel. So,
Right, yeah.
She
that's
doesn't-
what it says, supposedly.
yeah, she
Right.
doesn't want any contact whatsoever.
Alright, ma'am, your bond in count one will be set at $10,000. Count two will be 1,000. No contact with the victim, no contact with the co-defendant, and you may not return to that hotel. You can go back one time with law enforcement to get your stuff, but other than that, you're not gonna be able to stay there for so long as she's staying there. Public Defender's Office is provisionally appointed. I assume at some point a notice of conflict will have to be filed if you represent both co-defendants, but for now, there is court-appointed counsel. Your next court date will be?
On demand.
That means they'll let you know. Thank you.
Okay.
Miguel Johnson. Please state your name, sir.
Miguel Johnson.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, you have 3 different booking reports. One is a warrant for failure to appear, and
Yeah.
that was something that the judge who issued the warrant set your bond at 0. So that's an automatic 0. You have another arrest report for possession of a controlled substance and paraphernalia, and there is probable cause. And you have another warrant for child abuse, but not with great bodily harm. So the judge found probable cause in that one. Any history?
Stemming from 2013 up until 2017, grand theft, violation of probation, possession of controlled substance, possession of synthetic marijuana. He was adjudicated guilty on possession of cannabis and possession of paraphernalia. Burglary with assault, criminal mischief, that was dismissed, Judge, and possession of weapon by a convicted felon, that was also no info. And last that I had here was a battery toucher strike, which was dismissed, and then a dual Willis, which was adjudicated guilty.
So the failure to appear, like I said, the warrant says 0, that'll be 0. The child abuse warrant will be set at $1,000, no contact with the victim, no unsupervised contact with the victim. And then the controlled substance will be 1,000. Count 2 for the paraphernalia will be 100 with, since that's all by itself, those qualify for PTR, right?
Typically they started if you have one charge that does.
Right, but those are different, those are.
Different cases.
Right, this is a different case
We
altogether.
can't PTR.
So this one with PTR and random drug testing. If they had all been in one information, then it
Then
wouldn't work.
it
This is
wouldn't
its own case number.
So you want the possession of controlled substance and paraphernalia on PTR?
Bond with PTR, random drug testing.
Your Honor, for the record, I'm showing a bond of $500 on the failure to appear
Are you?
affidavit. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't see that. Let me double check. No, mine says 0.
Yeah.
It's a VOP.
No,
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
mine's scratched through and it says 0.
Oh, I don't have that on mine, so, okay.
Let me just double check and see what the actual warrant, because that could have been a typo.
You gotta be able to.
No, it says on the jail sheet, bail amount 0.
Okay.
Yeah, failure to appear.
And could you, for the, I missed the bond amount on the warrant charge.
Child abuse warrant?
Yes, ma'am.
1,000 with no unsupervised contact.
Okay, thank you very much.
Due to the defendant's criminal history, the state would be asking on the child abuse count to also include a condition of no possession of weapons or firearms.
Do not possess any weapons or firearms on all cases. Next court date.
On case number 16, CT 2821, April 22nd, 8 o'clock, courtroom 4E. Case number 19 CF 1034 and 19 CF 1259 on demand.
And Your Honor, was public defender appointed for this?
Yes, PD will be appointed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Miranda Jones.
She's unavailable, though, Your Honor, I would like to address the case for the purpose of requesting ROR so that the mental health officials here could Baker Act her.
I've reviewed the affidavit for Miss Jones. She was arrested for assault, criminal mischief, and resisting without. I do not find probable cause for assault. However, I do find probable cause for criminal mischief and resisting without. It appears that she's out on an ROR in 19 CF 823 Can I assume that that was a mental health ROR?
No, it was a 33-day
33-day
release.
motion ROR,
Yeah.
okay.
And,
So,
and Your Honor, the only reason we request ROR for this purpose is because they can't release her to a hospital without it.
right, I understand. The court will allow Ms. Jones to be released, mental health PTR, or PTR with mental health conditions, whichever one she qualifies for more appropriately. But it will be no contact with listed victim, no return, abide by all prescription requirements.
Take all your prescriptions.
Take all your pills that you're told, the way you're told.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Public Defender's Office will be appointed provisionally if you are seeking appointment.
Yeah, I believe we are, Your Honor.
All right, PD will be appointed provisionally as soon as she is able to fill out an affidavit. She needs to fill one out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thanks. And you might just make a note, there's a Baker Act hold, according to the public defender. Nicolette Price. Please state your name, ma'am.
Nicolette Price.
Thank you. Ms. Price, you're arrested for petty theft. Greater than 100 but less than 300. There is probable cause. PTR.
She doesn't have any history out of Florida. However, she has extensive history out of Kentucky and possibly out on probation. It was undetermined. We tried to look it up. She was apparently sentenced on January of this year for possession of controlled substance. We tried to get a hold of Kentucky, but was unable to do so. She has 6 failed to appears in Kentucky. Public intoxication, false report, it looks like racketeering drugs, DUI, Dwillis, burglary 2 times, public intoxication, and shoplifting.
Ma'am, how long have you been here in Florida?
A week.
Were you just on vacation?
Yeah.
And what was your plan? When was vacation supposed to be over?
Friday or Saturday, we was leaving.
All right, who were you here with?
My mom and sister.
But your home is in Calvert City?
Yes.
That's where y'all live?
Yes, I can stay here until my next court date.
That's fine. Where are you going to stay?
My mom is renting a hotel. We're getting it cheaper for a week at a time.
So your family's just going to stay here indefinitely until your case gets resolved?
Yes, yes.
Even if that takes a couple of months?
Yes.
What about stuff back in Calvert City? No jobs, no...
My mom, my stepdad, he passed away 2 years ago. So my mom gets disability off of him.
Oh, okay, so you don't have, nobody has a job to go back to?
No.
Okay. Bond will be set at $1,000 with pretrial release, no return to Walmart. Public Defender's Office is appointed. Next court date.
April 18th, if still in jail. May 10th, 8:15, courtroom 4A, if out.
Thank you. Harichandra Ramatar. Good afternoon, sir. Please say your name.
Harichandra Ramatar.
Thank you. Mr. Ramatar, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. I've read the affidavit and there is probable cause. PTR, any history?
He doesn't have any Florida history. However, out of New York, it was a DUI, failure to obey traffic signal, vehicular assault, criminal mischief, which was convicted, but that was in 1985.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Sir, based on what I read in the affidavit, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 with pretrial release. No contact with the victim. You may not return back to the home except one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. And I believe I said, but I'll say again, the Public Defender's Office is appointed. Your next court date will be?
April 18th, if still in jail. May 10th, 8:15, courtroom 4A, if out.
Thank you. Eunice Reyes. PD appointed. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Eunice Reyes.
Thank you. Ms. Reyes, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. I've read the affidavit and there is probable cause. PTR?
She only has one prior, which was a battery with the same victim. Other than that, she has no convictions.
Bond will be set at $1,500 with pretrial release. no contact with the victim. As you heard him say before, he was gonna voluntarily get out of the house so that you can return to the house. I don't want you to destroy or get rid of any of his stuff, okay? Don't get rid of any of it. You understand, Ms. Reyes?
Yes.
Don't damage it or get rid of it or anything. Sell it, nothing. Next court date will be?
April 18th is still in jail. May 10th, 8:15, courtroom 4A if out.
Thank you. Malcolm Rich.
Malcolm Rich.
Good afternoon, sir. Please say your name.
Malcolm Rich.
Thank you. Ms. Rich, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. There is probable cause in the affidavit. PTR, any history?
He doesn't have any Florida history. He has simple assault in New Hampshire, Vermont aggravated assault, burglary, simple assault, all were adjudicated guilty. Last adjudication was in 2014. So he only has technically 3 priors and
They were
qualifies.
all violent priors.
Yes, Judge.
They were all assaults.
Yes,
Okay,
Judge.
and then it says in the police report that the victim indicated he had been physically abusive towards her in the past and arrested for DV in Vermont. Did you find that?
We were not unable to, that was a simple assault, so we're unable, oh, yes, I'm sorry, Judge, assault with domestic violence, but doesn't specify as to the victim.
No, does it say the disposition?
Adjudicated.
Adjudicated?
All
Okay.
of them were adjudicated guilty.
Thank you. Mr. Rich, you were on vacation, correct?
Yes, Judge.
You're not planning on staying here. You're going back to Vermont once you get out of jail?
I mean, yeah.
All right. So your bond in this case is going to be set at $2,000 with pretrial release. No contact with the victim or with her mother. You may not stay in any shared residence. So even if you go back to Vermont, you have to come back for your court dates, but you have to maintain a separate residence. You cannot possess any weapons or firearms. And let me make sure if you qualify for the public defender. A PD's office is appointed, so you do qualify for the PD. We'll appoint them to represent you.
Your Honor,
Make sure
based-
that you keep in touch with them, okay?
Your Honor, based on the defendant's out-of-state situation, he
That's why his
is.
bond was doubled.
Yes, Your Honor. He's currently a stay-at-home father, so he's not employed and does not have the means to pay a full $2,000 bond. I'm not sure if you would consider reducing it at all.
I would not.
All right.
Mr. Rich, your next court date will be?
April 18th is still in jail. May 10th, 8:15, courtroom 4A if out.
So 2 different ones depending on whether you bond out or not bond out.
Okay.
Thank you. Ismael Sanchez Quintero. Good afternoon, sir. Please say your name.
Ismael Sanchez Quintero.
Thank you. Mr. Sanchez, you were arrested. It says domestic, but I don't find probable cause for domestic. I find PC for simple battery. There's just not enough detail to rise it to the level of a domestic relationship as defined under Florida statute. So there is PC for battery. Any history?
From 2004 to 2009, possession of heroin with intent, possession of paraphernalia, DUI, possession of cocaine with intent, possession of cannabis, VOP, grand theft, cocaine, Duillis, and contempt of court. Most recently, Judge, Duillis in 2014, which was adjudicated guilty.
Sir, I'm going to set your bond at $500 in this case and just supervised by pretrial release, no contact with the listed victim. It already says, I believe, that you all don't live together, so you're just not allowed to live together. Don't let her come over to where you live, and don't you go over to where she lives. Okay? And then Sanchez does qualify for the public defender. PD's office is appointed. Your next court date will be?
April 18th is still in jail. May 10th, 8:15, courtroom 4A if out.
Thank you. Brianna Sanders. Please state your name.
Brianna Sanders.
Thank you. Ms. Sanders, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. There is probable cause. PTR, any history?
Judge, she has no history whatsoever, and she would be a great candidate for PPR. We were unable to contact the victim.
Let me just look at one more thing, Ms. Sanders. All right. I will allow you to PTR in this case, no contact with the listed victim, maintain a separate residence. If he vacates the room, then you could go back. But if he's staying there, or if he's got the kids there, then you can't go back there until the order changes.
Yes, ma'am.
DCF was already advised, just because they have to be. I will let you know this, if there are any issues and DCF gets involved when there are issues, then your kids are in the middle of this mess. And we don't want that.
Never.
So just abide by the court orders, abide by
Absolutely.
the PTR, stay away from him, even if he says, no, it's okay, come over, don't.
Won't.
Until this case is over.
Yes.
Yes.
State would also be asking for no alcohol as a condition of PTR.
I thought I saw in here that says alcohol was not a factor. I thought I just read that. Maybe I'm reading up because there were like 7 DV cases.
Yeah, I believe it on page.
Oh, it's here. It's prolonged by the, yes. Okay, so do not possess or consume any alcohol while you're on pretrial release.
Absolutely.
And let me see if you qualify for the PD. You do. PD's appointed. Next court date.
May 10th, 8:15, courtroom 4A.
Do I
Now,
need a bond?
if she's still in the room and she needs to get her stuff,
I don't?
you'll have an assist
So what does
order.
this mean?
If she vacates the room, then you don't need the assist order. But PTR has to verify that he's gone.
I think.
Once he leaves and she moves in, if that's what they want to do, he can't come back.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but if he's still occupying that room, I'm not putting him out.
They're out of that hotel.
I'm just making sure, as long as y'all don't live together.
Yep.
That's the most important thing, but I don't want you to violate.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Anthony West. PD appointed.
Your Honor, we'd like to make a probable cause argument for this one.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Please state your name.
Anthony West.
Mr. West, you were arrested. It says driving on a suspended license, third is subsequent offender. Let me see what the public defender's office is appointed. Defense, what would you like to argue?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
You said you wanted to make a PC argument. I'd like to hear your argument.
Yes, Your Honor. The police report is pretty vague about the type of vehicle that Mr. West was driving at the time of the stop. He indicated that it was not a full moped. I'm not sure under the statute if the size of the engine would qualify as requiring a license. I believe there's not a factual basis for the arrest based on the failure to note the size of the vehicle's engine, Your Honor.
I don't know that the state, based on the information in this affidavit, would necessarily be able to provide proof beyond a reasonable doubt, but a moped is a motor vehicle for purposes of Florida statute. A motor vehicle is required to be licensed to be able to operate legally on the roads, so there is probable cause that he was operating a motor vehicle on the roadways of the state of Florida while his license was suspended, canceled, or revoked.
Okay.
There is probable cause that he has previous convictions, at least 2 others, so this would be a third and subsequent. State, do you wish to be heard at all?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So I do find PC for driving on a suspended, canceled, or revoked as a third or subsequent offender. Any other history? Relative history, significant history, either failures to appear, similar crimes.
He has no failure to appears in the last 7 years at all. His last arrest was making a false report, and that was in 2012.
Well, the sheet that PTR gave me, the risk assessment sheet, says extensive history, 37 priors.
37. From 2004 to 2012, Judge, it's a variety of charges. Possession of cannabis, shoplifting, dwellis, fail to appear as grand theft auto, possession of cocaine, petty theft, VOPs, obstruction with violence, resisting without violence. Let me see here. Contraband, intro to contraband, shoplifting, another grand theft, trespassing, obtain money with false receipt, possession of cannabis, and then it falls into the making false report.
Sir, how long have you lived on Sunny Street?
For almost 25 years.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the defendant has provided us a list of numerous medical conditions that will require more comprehensive care than the jail can provide, including a deep vein thrombosis, clotting disorder, as well as pulmonary embolus.
Sir, your bond will be set at $1,000 with pretrial release. You may not drive whatsoever. You have to check in with PTR on a weekly basis. They have a phone-in system, so you don't physically necessarily have to appear at the office every week, but you do need to check in. You cannot drive at all unless you have a valid license in your possession. Do you understand? You must appear personally for all court dates. Your next court date will be on demand, because technically it's still listed as a felony. And then they'll let you know. Just keep in touch with your lawyer. Yes, ma'am?
$1,000 has to be paid, the whole 1,000.
You'll have to talk to a bail bondsman. They'll let you know how to do it.
With PTR, can you go through a bail bondsman still? So I can go.
You have to post your bond first, and then he'll come see me. It's the same thing when you were with me.
Okay, Mr. West?
Your Honor, that I was told that 50 cc's and under, not registered.
So this is a probable cause finding. It's
Oh,
different
okay.
than what the state has to prove in order to find you guilty of the charge. Different standards.
Okay.
Okay? So you give all that information to your lawyer. Your lawyer will be able to talk to the state attorney, and then they'll know what to do on whether or not they want to press charges any further.
All right,
All
thank
right?
you.
Please do not drive. If there's any question about whether you should or shouldn't, or you can or you can't, then don't. Because if you're on any vehicle that's on the roadway while your license is still suspended, I'm gonna consider that a violation of my release order. Okay? Thank you. Next court date on demand. Thank you.
I will see you out there.
That's all we have. Public defender, have any ones that we missed?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anything from the state?
For Volter.
He bonded.
Tino bonded, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're adjourned till tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.